one area I struggle with is buy limits and sell stops. A question or two, right? So buy limits are different than stops. So I'll give a brief tackle here. So I do have a video on types of orders. There's only two types of orders. I think where people get hung up, and I'll give Brian a shot at this, where people get hung up is they think there's a zillion types of orders, and there's not. There's only two: market orders and limit orders. The only order that has no contingency, no qualifier is a market order. Limit order is where you're specifying your price. You want your price or better. Now, separate issue. I say, listen, we have suspended or contingent orders. You can place a stop. Primary use is to stop the bleeding, stop the loss. And I say, when it trades at or through when we pull the trigger, do you want that to become a market order, buy stop or sell stop? Or when we pull the trigger, do you want to turn it into a limit order? We may or may never pull the trigger. The order may never get elected. Sean, if you head back to the channel tomorrow, I do have a video going up on a sequence of trades, and then it's a buy stop and what happens to it. And you might want to check that out. But buy limits and buy stops are entirely different things. A buy limit and a buy stop limit, again, are different things. A buy stop limit has two contingencies, two qualifiers. I would know that when a customer adds a contingency or qualifier, it's less likely the order is going to be executed. So it's important. I say, okay, Sean, if you want to make it a buy stop limit and it doesn't turn into a market order, you're getting a second contingency or qualifier. And the more qualifiers you add, the less likely it is your order is going to be executed. Brian, your thoughts? I don't think it's a big deal. Brian's got his board out. There you go.
Absolutely. Dean, you probably get as many questions on this as I do, especially for the 65, sometimes for the SIE, because the textbooks make a big deal of it. So what I wanted to tell you, Sean, was make sure you watch Dean's video, or if you happen to have my video course in the 65, watch somebody visually draw it out and show you where these situations work. It helps a lot more than just reading this garbage in a textbook. If you watch, visually see somebody do it. Also, one other thing is, again, everything is grounded in the basic definitions. Dean was already saying, right? No contingency. It's executed immediately as soon as it hits the floor. Limits, specify a price. I tell people stops, specify a condition. If, then, that kind of thing. That's where you want to start.
If, then, that. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Sean, if I were your series, your investment advisor rep, I'd say, listen, part of successful investing, Sean, is letting your flowers bloom, but more important, pulling your weeds. At what point are you and I going to agree this is a bad idea? You say, Dean, NVIDIA today is at 109. What a deal. I said, okay, so you want me to buy 100 shares of NVIDIA at 109 for you? Sean, why don't we put in a sell stop at 107? That way we lose approximately $200. NVIDIA trades at or through 107. We send you home. Yeah. Right? Now, you say, well, then I want a limit. I go, well, the other thing, John, is that may not happen, right? So limit orders, nobody has to do business with you. Your price or better. I was telling Brian, Sean, that I'm off grid now, and it cracks me up because the community here is different than me in a fun way. But the guy doesn't understand a market order. He has an Echo Gen generator, and I said, I'll buy it. He goes, I haven't told you the price. I said, it doesn't matter. Whatever the price is, I'm going to pay it. He goes, well, that's not how it works. I got to give you a quote. I said, well, it doesn't matter. I can't get him to understand. I want immediate execution at the best available price. I don't care what the price is.